We the ones they talking about.
Broadway Sports Media.
Choose your fighter.
Justin and Justin Titans podcast show.
Some of it was bad, but hopefully you probably piece something together.
Outstanding.
There's an earthquake in the middle of the podcast. Unbelievable.
We're begging for listeners. That's all we do.
We all we got. Hey, Titans on three. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome, everyone, to a special emergency edition of the Music City Audible podcast, presented by Broadway Sports Media in partnership with 440 Sports, and it has happened. Can you believe it? After you and I, a few weeks ago, said it was never going to happen, DeAndre Hopkins has announced his intentions to sign with the Tennessee Titans. We don't have the contract details yet. We'll get into that on our next regularly scheduled podcast. But we can assume the Titans made the money work because we talked about all the ways that they could make the money work. We'll get into all that later, but let's just talk right now about Hopkins' impact on this roster. There's some people I saw on Twitter say he's going to be a great wide receiver 2 in Nashville. No. Make no qualms about it. Hopkins is the wide receiver 1. Traylon Burks has a lot to prove. We're excited about his potential and the hype that he's created throughout OTAs, but Hopkins is going to come in and immediately be the wide receiver 1, Ryan Tannehill's favorite target. He knows Tim Kelly. He knows this offense probably better than anyone on the Titans right now because all these Titans players are learning Tim Kelly's offense for the first time. Hopkins played in it for years in Houston. This is huge for the Titans' chances to win the AFC South and compete in the playoffs. I don't know that it makes them a Super Bowl contender, but it certainly raises the ceiling for this team, and it's going to raise the perception of what they're trying to do in Nashville because all that talk about, is it a rebuilding year? Do the Titans even want to compete? Do they want to reset for 2024? Well, now we know. They are trying to compete in 2023.
This is huge. You're right. I love what it signals from Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel. Aggressive intentions. They threw all your projections, everything you predicted out the window, right? You said it. They're rebuilding. They can't win football games. They're not going to be a good team. They don't want to hear any of that. They are not trying to lose games. They don't care about a draft pick in 2024. They want to win the AFC South this year. They're pissed they had to give up that throne last year in that final game in Jacksonville. This puts them right there. I think they're right now. They're right back on par with the Jags, co-favorites in my opinion in the AFC South. I said this a few weeks ago. I'm going to say it again. All of a sudden, it's crazy how much of a difference one player can make.
Yeah. We
were talking about the worst receiving core in the NFL. I've said that, right? I've been the one saying that more often than you. I look at the supporting cast all of a sudden. DeAndre Hopkins, Traylon Burks, Derrick Henry, let's not forget, still one of the best running backs in the NFL. Chigaquankwo, what Tajay Spears is going to offer as a change of pace guy, mismatch weapon in the passing game. Kyle Phillips, if he could take a step and be that slot guy. All of a sudden, this supporting cast looks pretty damn good. Like top 15 maybe in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how big of a jump they have made by signing DeAndre Hopkins. You go from worst to, I think, middle of the pack. I'm very excited about this move. I think they got a great chance to win the division. I certainly hope we're not getting an Andre Johnson, a Randy Moss, go on and on, a Julio Jones. Remember David Givens? That's a blast. I'll throw in a blast from the past. David Givens. I'm missing one.
Eric Decker.
Randy Moss. Did I say Randy Moss?
Yeah.
Did I say Andre Johnson?
Yeah.
Robert Woods, Julio. That was the 4 I had in mind. And then, Eric Decker's. Wow, that's a great call. I forgot about Eric Decker. That's a good one. I don't know how I remember David Givens and then forgot about Eric Decker. There was another one in the late 90s, I think, early 2000s. It's escaping me now. Was it Yancey Thigpen, potentially?
Yeah.
This franchise hasn't had a lot of luck when it comes to signing aging receivers, in all honesty. But as we just mentioned, round off 8 off the top of our head. But we're very excited about DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's still got something left in the tank. I don't think he's going to make me look stupid.
No, I think he's got a lot left in the tank. I do think we need to mention the injury concerns. You know, the last couple seasons he's missed time, whether it be for injury or for the PED suspension. And if he gets popped with another PED suspension, that's how many more games? Is it 10, 12? It's a lot more games than it would be, if it was a first-time offense. So you got to keep that in the back of your mind as well. But you got to hope that it's going to work out because it's no use just being concerned that it won't. I think we got to mention the fact that he could be injured, but even if he only gives you 12 to 14 games, it's still a much better receiving core than what you had prior to that. So good move by the Titans. Great job by Rand Carthon in his first offseason, adding a huge name, someone that Mike Vrabel wants to work with, that Tim Kelly, Charles London want to work with. Good for the Titans. I think that is going to cover this quick emergency pod reaction. We just wanted to hop on and react to this while it was hot, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Anything else you want to say about Hopkins to Nashville?
If you're a Titans fan, you should be excited. Don't poop on this parade. There's lots of reason for you to be cautiously optimistic. We mentioned the concern, the injury, the age. I don't think he's at the stage where Robert Woods and Julio Jones were. And maybe that's recency bias. Another thing I think that factors in here that helps, and it makes me more comfortable making that projection. Yes, he's a good route runner, but he's so dominant with his size, right? Like he's an excellent contested catch winner. That's going to help slow down some of the process, right? Of, he can't get open. No. As long as he's got a sliver, he's open because he's so big. He knows how to use his body so well. And let's be honest, I'm not going to change my tune because he's a Titan now. He's a push-off merchant, right? The guy's been getting away with it for years. So ever since he was remember all the push-offs playing against the Titans? Well, I hope now we get to see them as a member. I want to see him pushing off Tyson Campbell. I want to see him push off whoever the hell's playing corner for the Colts. They've got nobody. I want to see him pushing off all these corners and making catches in two-tone blue. But in all seriousness, I do think his ability to sort of be a contested catch winner, to make catches while guys are draped all over him, is going to help sort of slow down the
aging decline.
To slow down his aging process is what I'm looking for. So I'm excited about this signing. I'm excited for Titans football again. I said it a couple weeks ago. This changes the whole trajectory for me. The whole dynamic of this season. Was not real fired up about this year, from a fan perspective. But now I'm fired up.
Yes, get fired up. And you said you can't wait to watch him in two-tone blue. I can't wait to watch him in the Oilers throwbacks. I hope they wear them against Houston so Hopkins can put that Oilers uniform on against his old team. I can't wait to see him out there dominating for the Titans. One-handed. This guy's hands are insane. The one-handed catches, the contested catches, sideline, toe tapping. I think you're right. The speed element is what it is. Obviously, players in their 30s lose speed, but receivers can age well if they are like Hopkins, if they know how to use their body, if they know how to push off and not get called for it. He doesn't create separation necessarily with speed. He creates it with his body. So I think this is going to be just fine. I think it's going to work out okay for the Titans, even if he's not a 1,500-yard receiver because the offense doesn't necessarily allow for those opportunities. I still think he's going to be a huge, impactful player making contributions for this offense. So very excited for the Titans this year. All right. That will do it for this quick emergency podcast on DeAndre Hopkins. Again, we'll get more into the contract stuff and what the Titans did to make the money work on our next regularly scheduled podcast. But for now, enjoy this one. We'll be back soon. Follow Justin on Twitter at JustinM_NFL. Follow me at Titans Phone Room. Check out the new Music City Audible YouTube page, youtube.com/@MusicCityAudiblePodcast. Podcast. And until our next episode, y'all stay safe out there and tighten up.
A Broadway sports media production.